That just may be one block. The rest of it may be, decent. I don't know because I haven't.
Let me ask you this: then, what makes the area nice for you? Is it the people or is it the area?
White people. I'm just I'm playing. No. Tell all y'all, can y'all behave? Because we just got our privileges back on YouTube today, this morning, after a week of being punished. I don't know. It said we had a strike because of some kind of content. It wasn't me, dude.
Yeah.
Wasn't me.
Yeah, okay.
Well, my bad. Look, I'm not having all of my etiquette. I'm sure you heard, though.
No. No, really, though, we just got our privileges back. Couldn't upload the last damn episode until this morning because of them people. I guess I'm going to watch my mouth because they'll strike us again. But it's a shame. It's a shame that I guess that side runs everything. You know what I mean? I don't even know how to word it without getting in trouble because it's,
No,
YouTube,
I think it was you.
But did you know what I posted? I posted that short video of that them kids driving a car, like little kids, young kids driving a car. Nothing happened to them. Nothing, nothing crazy. And then I don't know if you've seen the video going around. That one. And all of a sudden I get a strike, and then we're banned from YouTube, and the whole account shut down for a week.
But who is it that's
making that?
What narrative you think it is? Well, I mean, because it could go across a broad spectrum.
In their defense, it was like a child thing, and I get it.
So what?
Well, I'm with you. So
you know what our country was built on? You know how? So go to
child
any
labor,
like China.
Yeah.
You go to any rural area and ask them how old was your son when you started driving a tractor? Brad, you got some white people in your family that might have been in farming.
Couple, yeah.
Not
farming.
I'm not going to ask about my people that was in farming because it's a little different.
Yeah,
I'm Creole, I know. All right,
yeah.
But I'm gonna speak on the whiter side of things. All right.
Right.
So y'all had a tractor, not y'all, but your family.
We didn't need a tractor.
Man's from the city. They didn't need a tractor. They had human labor. He's saying that's fucked up. Y'all are bad. See, that's why we get strikes.
You weren't paying attention. You're supposed to stop and say, Brady.
That's why we get strikes.
No, Brad,
on
but
YouTube.
No, I know what you're saying. Yeah,
really,
okay, yeah.
Really, what's the age? What's the age that you think a kid starts driving a tractor?
Thinks he should start driving a tractor?
No.
I mean,
that you know.
I mean, we were 12 and
See?
Yeah, if
12,
not
13.
younger, if you're living on a farm or something.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Right.
I know people
because
that
you got
was
to pull
7.
your weight.
Yeah.
Thank you.
7. You
Yeah.
know why it's 7 years old? Because that's how long it took for the legs to be able to reach the clutch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So I
the
upload
dad
a video.
threw it in gear. Or the dad threw it in gear and he slid off.
Yeah, so I upload
the
a
kid would
video
drive till it ran
of
out
some
of gas.
kids driving that cause no harm, and then we get a strike because it's child endangerment. They call it.
Well, that was a
You know
woman.
what I mean? Yeah.
That was a woman. You got a lot of platforms, right? So you got the color part, you got the sexuality part, you have the sexual orientation part, and then you have whatever other political correctness that you're gonna have across the, whether it's racist, whether it's whatever, and then to the part of child endangerment because some woman thinks that children can't drive because they don't have 2 eyes, 2 hands, and 2 feet. There are a lot of children who, of course, can't drive, but there are some who can.
Well, I will say I learned a lot because they made me take a course in order to get the shit back going with them. I had to
So what you did? So you told one of your kids, "Come here."
I had to answer questions like Sue and her daughter are making a video, and Sue pushes her daughter off the chair, joking, and the daughter laughs about it and gets back on the chair. Is this a video that should not be uploaded? Shit like that. I had to answer yes or no to like 7 or 8
I had
questions.
to go through that because my kid got popped with an MIP by the Green Police. Was
Really?
out there on the river, and of course, one of his buddies brought some Frosty Cool beverages and stuck it in the ice chest.
Okay.
And they're up the river and they're by the sandbank, and the Green Police show up, and what's in the ice chest? And my kid, he's like, water, high C.
Yeah.
That's what he put in there. Flip the lid, there's a 6-pack. So they all get popped with MIPs, and he has to do his 40 hours community service. He has to go to these classes. Of course, I go to the classes with him, and I learned all about this internet stuff and everything, like putting children fighting on the internet.
Right.
That's illegal.
Which is everywhere.
Yeah. And the ones that upload it are the kids.
Yeah.
And they're the ones that share it the most. But then, of course, the parents are like, this is what's wrong with the school.
Right,
blah, blah, blah.
right.
And then it goes, and the parents get in trouble for posting it. But Yeah, needless to say, these classes were interesting.
Oh my God, yeah. Well, and the funny thing, you said it, that I got that video from the fucking internet,
Right?
And then I put it right back on the internet, and then
Here we are,
gets
yeah.
not. Yeah,
He got it from the dark web.
but I got it off of. No, I got. No, I wasn't on the dark web. I got it off of
probably
X, honestly,
did.
off of Twitter. You know, because you can put anything on there.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
Elon's like, whatever, as long as it ain't illegal, just do it. You know, or threatening people or some.
You
shit
know
like
the
that.
you know the number one way that boys learn is by behaving dangerously.
Doing dumb shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Taught all of us a lot.
True.
Don't it? Anyway, I'm rude as shit. This is Kenneth Delaune, everybody. Our guest tonight. I've been knowing you since junior high.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been a while, man. All we're
Sorry.
doing is getting older and uglier, and that's
just-
what we do.
I think we're seasoned. We're seasoned.
Yep.
It's like all of a sudden, all that wise stuff that my father told me, it all
it's
starting to make
a little
now.
sense now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, except for the fact that you're out there running around getting beat up at, what is that, lacrosse? You're over
Yep.
there playing?
Got to play my lacrosse.
How long
man.
you been doing that?
Let's see, since 11, which
Yeah.
is about the time when I got divorced. So it was
Since
my
2011.
outlet. Yeah, 2011.
I thought he meant 11 years old. I'm like,
No,
damn.
man, no, 2011.
Yeah, I was a little slow to that one too.
Yeah, 2011. I picked it up. I mean,
Yeah,
it was hell. It couldn't have come at a better time. You know,
needed
it's like
something
going
to-
through divorce,
Yeah.
and it's like start hitting people with sticks.
That's awesome.
I'm like, this is great.
Damn.
Yeah,
I don't know how y'all do it. I'd run for about 5 minutes. I'm done.
You'd be done.
Done. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of running. It's a creator sport, man. It's been here since the Indians. They created it, and so we.
And what were they throwing back then?
I don't know.
Stones
Unless
and
somebody
shit?
that knows more about it
Yeah.
could tell you.
I
But
didn't even know they had that. That's why I asked you if it was on the North Shore the other day when I was talking to you, because I didn't
there's
know.
a few schools that have it. St. Paul's, Jesuit,
Okay.
Brother Martin, Holy Cross.
Rich people schools.
Newman.
That's why I never heard of it.
Right, it was. It used to
Yeah.
be considered like a rich man
Yeah.
sport, a gentleman's sport, but
Yeah.
more
You
or
got to be
less.
driving through the hood and then run
And
across
see
the
lacrosse.
No, yeah, run across a random
No.
lacrosse
All you're
field. You know
seeing
what I mean?
is chain basketball nets and shit. That's it.
And it's been starting in some schools, some of the inner city schools, but they don't show up for practice. Some of them,
I got
others have been grasping hold of it and taking part in it. And, you have club teams, which
Sure.
are mostly around. LSU's a club team.
Can you bet on it?
Why not?
Hey, because if you can start some betting on it, I guarantee you that it'll take off.
Yeah,
I wonder if
absolutely.
Vegas has got a hold of it. Or is there like a professional league?
Yeah,
or
I
is
mean
that-
the PLL. That's
Okay.
considered your professional level lacrosse, and
I
then the New Orleans Mambo, which is your local team here. That's
Yeah.
your semi-pro box lacrosse team.
Right.
So they're been around probably about 3 years now and stuff, and I played with them those years
Yeah.
and stuff. So I've actually taken off this season to get this house built.
Yeah, but
So-
you're still.
Yeah, I still play.
Okay, what the team that you're on now? What is?
That's the Mardi Gras Lacrosse Club.
Okay.
So it's a
Okay.
club team. It's a
Yeah.
semi-pro club team.
Yeah.
We'll play some collegiate teams. We'll play LSU. We'll play UL. We'll
Good
play
Lord.
Southeastern. To get on the schedule. And I'm 48 years
I was
old.
gonna say,
And
that's some
chasing
young
these
bucks,
after these
y'all.
20-year-olds.
Yeah.
It's easier just to knock them on their ass so
Hell
they
yeah.
stop running.
Hell yeah!
What's the outfit look like? What's the uniform look like?
Penny, which is like a basketball tank top or reversible, and some shorts. It seems like the shorts have started creeping up
Yeah,
more.
yeah.
So, we went from the basketball 12-inch inseam.
Yeah.
Now it makes more sense to wear 6 and 5-inch inseam, so the stick don't get caught on your shorts while
I
you're running.
got you. We should have biker shorts, man. That's what I would wear.
I mean, I'm thinking about it from a perspective of you throw that little outfit on and cruise up in a little joint somewhere and be like, "What's going on, girl?"
Oh, you're gonna impress some girls.
Man, I'm that
Yeah, I don't know.
LLC lacrosse, or whatever he said. I wasn't paying attention.
LLC lacrosse. Yeah, like I said, I didn't even know that was a sport around here. I've seen it, but I knew it was, like you said, more of a gentleman's
Right.
sport,
And I didn't
but
know anything about it. I mean, I was still playing semi-pro football with the Rage out of Orlando. And then we moved back down here, and the Slidell had the Sharks, which is a semi-pro Southern Football League team.
Yeah.
And if most of the guys were arrested on the weekends, they couldn't show up on a Sunday to play a game.
Right.
So we'd have to forfeit and whatnot. And finally, the team just went away. And just one day Googling, it's like at Playmakers over there in Jefferson Parish, is like lacrosse. What the hell is that? I saw it in Florida.
Right.
But I started looking up and I emailed them, showed up for practice. They gave me all the new gear. Sitting there watching YouTube videos to figure out how to play this. They're like, man, how long have you played? I'm like, 15 minutes.
Right.
Ever.
We starting a team. That's it. Can we drink?
Huh?
Can we drink and play?
What's that?
Can you drink and play?
Yeah, well, it's encouraged.
Yeah.
It's encouraged.
It's encouraged.
There you go.
Definitely.
All right, me and Brad can talk about the stocks for a second. So, Brad,
Hit them stocks.
So, Brad, I'm interested in investing in some silver. So, you know anybody's got some stolen shit I could buy?
Stolen shit.
You play with that at all? That stock shit? Because he was in there trying to explain to us.
No,
that,
I mean,
and I'm like,
the stuff I've been watching is like, I mean, I've been watching the CPI from the for interest rates. Watching that stuff. It's like I think 3.36. Now, which is higher than the long term, which I think the long term is 3.28.
Right.
Stuff. So looking at the customer price index, I know interest rates are still higher than giraffe nuts.
Yeah, I've been trying to put my money more safe, like I took out some CDs at 5%. I did one at 5.25, I found 6 month. And then Schwab's got a good safe account. It's all liquid. And they're paying 5%, man. So I dumped a bunch of cash in that. And I'm just always been kind of that like day trader, try to make 10-15% and sell. And I mean, there's a few of them, of course, I've lost my ass on, but
right,
but I continuously
cash.
Yeah, but I continuously every year fund
that's where
my
it would get
Roth
me.
IRA.
Come here, boo. You got to get a bunch of cash. I'm out.
I'm out. Yeah,
and I hit the defense stocks, and I hit insurance stocks.
Yes,
I'll get there. I'll find me a nice safe one, and I'll build it up a little bit, and then I'll pull some of that out and put it in something risky.
Exactly.
And then stick it back in there. It's like I got my safety net.
A lot of those defense stocks, and if it's Walmart, they all pay a little dividend. If you got time, if you got the time to wait and invest, and
all the money.
Yeah, not Cracker Barrel though.
Time.
You don't need money, dude.
You don't need money.
You don't
just use yours.
You need a gun, and a ski mask.
Definitely don't put it in Cracker Barrel, because I think the CEO from Cracker Barrel came out and said something about this. This franchise is no longer meeting the demographic and everything.
Right.
And all of a sudden the stocks went.
Wait! Come on!
The demographic.
Yeah, give that to us.
What does he mean by that?
Let's dig.
And just like Red Lobster, what they file for bankruptcy.
Stop. One at a time. What happened with Cracker Barrel?
So I know the CEO, female and stuff. I don't know her name, but she came on basically and said that Cracker Barrel is not meeting, that this franchise and stuff is kind of like a dead franchise. It's not meeting the demographic. It's not living up to today's standards, which is your, I guess, woke standards.
That's what I was going to ask.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So as soon as she comes out and says that, Cracker Barrel stock plummets.
Really?
After that.
Wow.
So
I didn't know.
What?
Yeah, right.
What baffled you?
What you going to have a country meal? Like what does it have to
do with all of that?
How is that applicable to?
Dude, everything's turned to just. It's like
I don't get it.
There's a side every business has chosen to.
Can somebody humor me a little bit, kind of guide me through that? Like how, if you're going to have a country meal, you know what I mean? Like how does that all of a sudden have to be wokefully correct?
Well, it shouldn't, but it's
right.
It's every.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah, the CEOs and the people that are running these places feel like they have to, I guess, virtue signal and let you know where they stand.
Right, sure.
And there's those scores that we talked about before that these big companies get.
Yeah. Social credit scores.
Yes,
and
they all
that,
want that DEI shit or whatever, because a lot of investors don't want to invest in somebody that's got low scores like that. You know what I mean? So it's a way to draw in money.
So wait, so Cracker Barrel plummeted because she gave negative publicity, or Cracker Barrel plummeted because
it happened right after she did. So I think. And don't quote me, but I want to say Cracker Barrel stock was probably around 127 at the time.
Shane, quote him on this.
I'm actually writing it down.
But I think it's like at 47 now.
Yeah,
a share.
Wow.
Yeah.
So,
so everybody should go eat at Cracker Barrel or shouldn't?
I'm trying to figure out what we do.
I went to Cracker Barrel this morning.
Yeah, are we boycotting this or what?
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on.
I like the food actually.
I
do too.
It's sampler.
It's affordable. It's affordable. It's going to kill you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Eat it.
Damn, dude. Like now what? Now we got to have feelings involved in this shit or something?
I don't know where to shop at anymore. It's like, what are we doing here? Like, we can't go to Target. We can't go. It's like,
you can grab some taffy before you leave or something.
That's true.
In the gift shop.
Yeah.
So.
Cracker Barrel. I ain't been there in a while.
Isn't it crazy?
Yeah.
Damn, man. Just run everything into the ground. We can't watch Disney movies no more.
Yeah, the politics have done that, man.
You know what I mean?
Disney had to pay for bags at Walmart in California. Do we know?
I wouldn't.
We don't talk about.
Do you really?
We're gonna stop bringing up California.
Well, I know you like Walmart, so I figured we talk about it.
Walmart and California. Let's get it straight.
Yeah, you have to pay for bags.
pay for bags.
Yeah.
Well, I know there's one of them stores that you're supposed to bring your own
Aldi.
bag. And is that what it is?
Yeah.
So I guess Walmart's trying to get on. What is it to stop plastic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it's
You know what,
California
though?
thing,
But here's the thing.
I was reading it
Can you
last night.
imagine living in California?
So they're talking about, and check this out. California is the whole western seaboard of the United States. So all of the trash that's in that ocean over there is theirs.
Yeah, well, that's true. That is true. Yeah, I see what you're saying. All that pollution that they're trying to fight.
So they're talking about that whole big trash swirl and all of that shit is theirs.
Yeah, it's their shit.
You know what I mean? So leave us alone. Fix your problem that you have over there. You know what I mean? And let's get on with it.
Yeah.
But I don't understand how California is regulated to run the whole rest of the United States. You know what I mean? I mean, just because Ronald Reagan came from there, look at him.
Everything,
and the fire in his eyes.
Everything you look at has, something on the label. It's something to do with meeting the standards of California.
Yeah, well, let's meet the standards.
Absolutely.
Well, if every state met the standards of California, we'd all empty out into Mexico and Canada.
Wow.
Because everybody's leaving California because it's such a good place.
Well, that ain't what Gavin Newsom says. He's denying that. So.
Yeah,
and he'll be our president soon anyway. So
yeah, I mean, the environmental regulations over there,
it's
crazy.
They're outrageous. They go there because, I mean, having ships go that way, they will jump on you quick as soon as you come into San Diego or stuff like that, and they are looking for stuff. You know?
Absolutely.
That's crazy. But how did the United States let them garner the whole western seaboard? You have what? Washington and what's the other state right above?
Oregon.
Yeah,
Oregon.
But it's so far north until
Washington State.
Because when it starts to snow, you can't use those states up there. It gets cold.
Does it?
It's cold in Northern California. Thank you.
Making sure.
I'm talking about the streets freezing and shit.
I know.
Dude, see how you turn it into something else? Thanks a lot.
I was making sure we were on the same page. That's the guy you were talking about that went to jail for having that ammo in his luggage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Where was that at? In
Turks and Caicos.
Yeah. They said he pled guilty. I guess he had no choice, but he's facing like 12 years, a minimum of 12 years.
Can we trade him
rounds,
for accidentally having?
Yeah, but he left outside. Listen to this.
I love the sympathy you have for this American that's sitting over there.
He left outside of the United States. Get your head out your ass when you're going to another place. Stop. No, look, because listen, this is a big deal. This is a big deal. You had what's her name that decided to bring weed into that other place, and we had to trade an arms dealer to get that bitch back.
I know.
I mean, I'm cursing.
Yeah, well, man, she's a young lady.
I mean, her voice is
Is she a young lady? Is she a young lady?
Brittany Griner.
Yeah.
Have you heard her speak?
No.
Oh my God! They interviewed her.
No. I'm so sorry that happened. I'm so sorry they popped me with my stuff.
Yeah.
I'm trying to stop cursing.
I was waiting for you to do Arnold. Get to the chopper.
But you make a good point because a lot of people didn't have no sympathy for her, but then we're supposed to sympathize with this guy.
Well, that's what I've seen it compared to. If you read the comments, that's where it goes.
Yeah.
What do you call it when you entitlement?
Yeah.
Your child in your house can run around your house and break shit and do whatever he wants as much as you'll let him. But when he comes into my house, I expect him to behave as I expect my kids to behave.
Well, the problem
is, you don't tell your kid to watch himself when he goes to somebody else's house, then there's going to be trouble. And that's exactly the way that Americans act when they go in other places.
To me, the difference, though, in those two cases is that the Brittany, she knew she had that.
It don't matter.
This guy says it was a mistake because he left it in there after hunting, and
so
he had
what?
a couple rounds.
No.
Did you hear the case? Do you know?
Yeah,
know
I know
what
what
I'm talking
you're
about?
talking about. I mean, but that's not the first time that's happened.
No, it's not.
Right.
Yeah, you're
No,
right.
but-
They
but-
said they have other Americans that are locked up for the same thing.
But my whole point is that when you're going into another country, dude, wake up.
Well, that was like the Otto Warmbier case. I mean, I don't know if he actually did what they said, but if he did, if he's over there stealing political posters,
well, they have him on
North
camera,
Korea.
man.
Is it him? Because I watched
think that was
I actually
him,
saw
man.
that
Yeah.
the other day. I was just curious about the case, so I started looking into it again. And it's so hard to tell because all you see is some guy down a hallway.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And somebody's taking a poster off the wall, but it's like, was that produced after they arrested this guy? You know what I mean? Just to say he did something, or you know what I mean?
But I mean, that's the thing. And so if you act right in other people's houses.
Yeah.
You know, we expect the same when people come here.
When people come here. Because
You
we
know?
bitch about it if there's an illegal alien doing something wrong over here.
We
Yeah.
expect the same
And just
thing.
to say, I've been out of the country a few times. More than I have. I'm starting to count on my toes now, more than fingers. Right. So with that being said, I do understand. I understand the value of my Social Security number. Right. I understand that if I slept late, then I didn't seize an opportunity that I should have that somebody else is coming here to seize.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You start to understand things whenever you. A lot of Americans are arrogant about. Because the Americans have been told since birth, me being one of them, that we have the best of everything. And then when you actually compare your stuff to somebody else's, you're embarrassed. Like I gave this analogy before, Brad, that you have the only house on the block.
Okay.
Right. And so you tell your children, we got the best lawn there is. You know what I mean? And then one day your kid gets on a bus and he goes to school and he's coming home, because he's homeschooled or whatever like that. He comes and goes, Dad, our stuff is messed up real bad. And then your dad gets mad at you like, you don't love your family? And that's kind of the way it is with the United States, to give a long way around it.
Well, were you military?
Mm-hmm.
I thought so. Maybe. I couldn't remember. Were you? So you've traveled abroad.
Yeah, I mean, like when he's talking about, for instance, I made a trip to Tel Aviv years ago, and there's certain things you fill out and do before you just pop in there.
Right.
And I was on a plane with some two ladies that were flying over there just cause, just cause they wanted it. That was on their bucket list. They bought the ticket. They loaded up on the plane.
Was it a couple type women?
No. It was two elderly ladies and stuff. So when they get in the airport, they don't have all the correct information. They haven't been approved to be there. They turn them right back around, put them back on the plane, heading back.
Yeah,
money going.
What was it like over there when you were?
It's fine. I mean, it's a beautiful place and stuff. If you don't mind others digging under the city and setting off explosives and lobbing rockets over at you. Now it's a Tuesday.
And these two women decided just to go over there and
bucket list, bro.
Come on. Well, that's the strangest thing.
Come on, Betty, let's go. Yeah. Come on, we're gonna go over there and see some rockets and stuff. Let's go.
Pick a different place. And now, when was that, Kenny? When did you go?
18.
Okay.
18 went over there. So, and that's just visiting. I planned my trip. So
gotcha.
I filled out everything that I needed to fill out.
So you didn't go because of
No, it wasn't any type of military related or lacrosse related or anything like that.
What brought you there, though, honestly?
Just to see the motherland, and see stuff that's going on. I mean, I've traveled some places. The last place I went was Prague. Okay. Which was actually real interesting because we actually played lacrosse in Prague. But going to downtown Prague and you look back during World War II and you see where Nazi was occupying that space, and you could look at the pictures when you're sitting next to like the autonomous clock or whatever it is, and you look back then and you see German tanks lined up.
Right.
Compared to what it is now. So it's kind of gives you those goosebumps and how surreal it is.
Awesome.
That Prague, they removed them out of there. They fought back and got Nazi out of there. So
interesting.
It's wild, huh?
Yeah, it is, honestly.
Yeah.
It's wild. And what do we have? We got a battlefield in Mississippi over there somewhere.
We got Fort Pike, right?
You got to look for that shit. You know what I mean? You go into the middle of the city and they have like structures standing up with like mortar rounds and took off a piece of it and stuff, and you going around. Yeah, over here we got this is a place where a battle had once took place way back, and you got to try to find it.
Battlefield.
Yeah,
where we didn't get the memo.
The driver's like, is that? Oh, that's a trailer park. No, not there. No, they're still battling right there. Next.
But isn't that a positive though? That
no,
kind
I'm just
of
saying that
not
our vision of how we see things is a little different from what actually goes on.
Yeah,
like all over Europe, there are people who are still alive that have sat through war. Just think of it. You wake up in the morning time, you grab and you sit there, you're sipping your cup of coffee, you're reading the newspaper, and all of a sudden, bow! You know what I mean? And now you have to go and tell your kids, to get up. Come on, we got to go and hide out, or Operation whatever starts, and you got to get your gunpowder or something. Look, Brad's over here tell me more.
That sounds like Chicago.
Brad wants that to happen. He's like, I'm ready, man. I'm ready.
I don't want that. I don't wish that upon.
Brad's got two gas cans full of diesel and a what else you got, Brad?
He's ready, yeah.
I can't
what were you saying? The difference
Plant
between preppers and
homesteading?
Yeah, you don't like the word
no,
prepper.
because I love the ideology of a homesteader, but I don't want to be labeled as a prepper because preppers are different. They have that it's gonna happen, brother.
End of
they're
days.
Coming, man. Yeah, they're coming, brother. Yeah, they say brother a lot. Whereas a homesteader, and not to say it, but a homesteader did a lot like a hippie. You know what I mean? You got to have a good woman, that won't mind foregoing a couple of baths and stuff, and loves cats and dogs and horses and chickens and cows. And her vegetables and all of that. She doesn't really care about, really like shaving under the arm and stuff.
Oh, well.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You lost me here, buddy.
Yeah, I think end of the day, I'll make sure my wife has razors still.
I'm picking, but you get it. The preppers are a real thing, man. I've seen some shows. You talk about you got to learn how to give yourself an eye. You got to know how to do a tourniquet and give yourself an IV, brother. Is what you do.
Some of them do go. They go far.
Well, I think a lot of them have that same, like, if they're private, they're trying to find an old school bus to dig and bury the school bus underground.
Burying sea cans.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and you got to bury, you're going to take my guns. Can't take my guns.
Wasn't Obama going to do that?
Who, Obama?
Yeah. He had 8 years. He never came and got mine. It's crazy.
It's wild how Obama sold more guns than any other president in history.
Yeah, it's almost like he worked with the NRA. Huh? Yeah. Which it seems like that every time that side starts that shit about them guns, man, there goes
sales go up.
Ammo sales, gun sales, because I fall for it. I'm like, I'm going to get mine. I'm waiting in line at Academy.
Yeah, then he always buys it at first, and then he turns around and sells it and makes money on it.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, he does it every time.
I did. I bought
him, anti-American over there. Where American?
When that one of them school shootings happened years ago, and I had like an $800 AR, man, and people were basically bidding on it. I got it up to about $2,500. I sold it to a guy, and then a few months later went and bought another one for $800. I was like, shit, you can have this thing.
I mean, I'm on, on social media for that aspect. There's a group that has them. He raffles off, certain thing. He has his license. So the last 2 AR-15s I picked up cost me $67 a piece.
Wow. I was looking. You were talking about how some of them illegal, them migrants, they like to call them. I'm gonna call them illegals.
Undocumented.
Yeah, those. How they like to. I think if they are victims of a crime, they become. Did you see the story in Texas where they got caught? They set up a fake robbery, and they wind up somebody saw it going on, and they wind up shooting the people that were doing the fake robbery.
You know what they get charged with then?
Fuck what?
Listen, if somebody dies in commission of a crime,
yeah, I thought you meant the person actually that did the shooting. You talking about the ones that set this bullshit up,
right?
Yeah.
Right. So in other words, if you're like, I'm gonna stop Bougie from coming to my house, so I'm a fake like I'm shooting at him or something like that, and then you walk in, you start the crap. And then he walks in and like, I can't figure out what's going on fast enough. But instead of you assuming that I'm going to run away, I pull my gun out and I shoot. Yeah. Then you're going to get charged with murder. You'll get charged with murder. Yeah. Well, not murder. Wait, is it murder?
I think it is. I think you get charged with the same. Yeah, because I know like if you just drive somebody to a robbery and that person gets out, you get the same charge.
Girls get charged with rape over the same thing. Like if a girl's driving or if she's in an area where another girl gets raped and she doesn't do anything about it, she gets charged with rape too.
How? That's ridiculous. Unless she set it up. But I mean,
no. There's a case. There's a case, and you'll have to fact check me on this. Or internet world, y'all can fact check me.
We're not fact checking.
This is a real
doing
case.
It right now.
It was a girl. It's a girl. She was a very large girl, and she was sitting there doing what very large girls do when they sit on the sofa.
How large? What?
And no, she wasn't eating. The second thing that big girls do when they're sitting on the sofa. She was looking through her phone. What?
I can't.
Dude, I'm here for the fun. All right.
I hear you.
I'm here for the fun.
I'll give it another month and we'll just do all our social media will be
if a girl is big, look, if a girl is big and she's happy with being big, she's gonna listen to what I'm saying. Hey. If she's not happy with her being big, it's not my fault.
Lizzo, go.
What?
Finish the story.
I love Lizzo.
I do too.
When she's skinny.
Yeah, go ahead. So anyway, I want to hear this because I'm confused.
She was sitting down over here and on the couch, and the other girl was sitting over here, and the guy whose house they were by or whatever was on this girl here, and he brought it all the way to the point that they had intercourse.
Yeah.
So when the transgression was over with, the girl got up and she went and called the police. Told the police what happened. Well, they got the guy because she was like, no. And it was like he couldn't figure out if it was a no means yes or a no means no type deal.
Yeah, no means
don't
try
stop harder.
Yeah, try harder.
You probably got 2 kids off of that one. Anyway, so then it was like, well, what was she doing? She laughed it off. It's like, I'm not gonna get into what y'all are doing, because the girl was like, stop him, whatever like that. She's like, I ain't gonna get into that. She was just scrolling through her phone or whatever. Right. So cop was like, yeah, your ass is going on a prison diet.
I don't see how, because I don't think
she didn't get up and do anything about it.
Obligation to stop a crime.
All right, so
because you see one happening. That's
right.
strange.
That's your civil duty.
No, it ain't. It might be your moral.
I mean, she'd have held her arms.
Yeah, exactly.
Charged her. But I mean, if
y'all some dumbass dudes.
I mean, the failure to act is not a crime.
It is literally your civil duty to stop a crime if you see it happening.
But you're not obligated.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not obligated to do anything. I mean, you don't have to do anything, but you should. You know, because
when I was taking the concealed handgun course, they were telling you to be careful intervening, because if you fuck around and shoot at somebody and it misses or goes through them and kills somebody, you're responsible for that person's life. Yeah. So they said if you don't have to get involved, don't.
Oh, no, yeah. I'm not talking about the collateral part of it. I'm talking about the whole point of that. If like let's say like a kid's getting beat up,
right?
And you're gonna sit. You was just getting on me about the same stuff because the dude was sitting on the ground and the girl was getting robbed by another person with a gun. And he was like, "Oh, I would have got up. I would have got up. We got up and did what?"
I just meant like for it to be illegal for you not to is what I was getting at. But I think it is the right thing to do if you can help somebody.
I think collectively, all of us can admit that if we saw a female getting raped, we would step in and stop it.
I would think so. Yeah, I mean,
I wouldn't step in. I'd stop it.
You're not going to join?
He said I'd step in.
Yeah, no, I would think so too, but. I don't think,
I know.
To send somebody to jail for I don't think that's how the law works. But
she got charged with she allowed for it to happen.
He should know. He was a police officer. Weren't you? Law enforcement? He's done everything. Astronaut. I think you were an astronaut for a year and a half now.
I ate the ice cream sandwiches at NASA, though.
What you got on? It just close. Jason Bourne? God damn.
Yeah. How long were you law enforcement, Ken?
98 to 2011.
Would you just decided it wasn't?
That divorce starts coming in, and it's like makes more sense because your schedule doesn't coincide with what the court thinks your schedule should be. So it went from you can have your children every Wednesday once a month to like I'll go take a 9-to-5 job so I can get them every other week.
I got you. Yeah, because
I told them like, no, I'm not that kind of dad. I want my kids. I'm half. They're half mine, they're half their mom's. Sure. We should be 50-50 and stuff. So
law enforcement probably calls that divorce because y'all are dogs. Them cops are dogs, man. Everyone I've ever known, they're out there trying to put it in anything they can. I've seen them.
Look who ain't laughing.
No, I'm not accusing you of nothing, but I know some police officers and they are dogs, man.
No, I mean, the whole plight in any police officer's role is to watch the other cop and to protect the other one. That's what they get in trouble for. Mostly.
Yeah.
It's because this asshole over here decided to do this, and then he put it in his report, and he walks over you and be like, hey, we need to get our story straight. Or
not do anything when you're seeing the other one, which, matter of fact, it is the anniversary of your hero, George Floyd. He passed away on this day. But I think that's what the other cops, didn't they get charged because they basically didn't intervene, when he was being,
that dude got,
quote unquote,
that
murdered.
Dude died because he was a dope addict and was getting arrested.
Yeah, I mean, there's further evidence when you look into it more and stuff.
You don't have to look
the
into
amount
of
drugs that were found in the seat of the car and stuff.
Yeah. In his system alone, huh?
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty. There's enough in the fentanyl that they found in the in the patrol car, his car, that attributed to his demise.
And they turned that country upside down
over a disaster.
Over that shit.
Over a disaster. Out of all of the ways to show disparity in the black community, they picked the worst possible scenarios. Like, let's go get a crackhead that died because of doing some crack.
They turned him into a hero. If you get online now, like today, with that shit going on, I mean, the people that are praising this man.
Isn't there like a bust of him somewhere?
Yes,
there was a brick mural till God took that out with some lightning.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, just boom.
But I mean, they making a movie about him?
Yeah, they're doing a little.
Who would be your choice of an actor to portray him?
Denzel.
It would be a good movie though, because Denzel don't miss.
I say
that's heartbreaking.
LeBron. I don't know if he can act, but
but he kind of.
Let's put him in. He is shaped like that.
But more importantly, he has victims of his past crimes.
Of course he does.
And they have to drive by these murals and statues.
Absolutely.
Yeah, imagine that.
Yeah. And then now there's a movie that might come out about him, and then you're the victim of that, his past crimes.
The black community got done wrong with that one, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because I know he's looking at me like, how?
Yeah, let's hear it.
No,
because the black community doesn't have the power of the media. The black people don't have media at all. Yeah. You can turn on the TV and it's like, like it's a BET of media out there doing whatever.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So that was white people that got together, probably a bunch of Karens. It's like, we've got to do something about this injustice.
Oh, it's all.
Doesn't know what the hell was going on.
Oh, yeah, all that's
and then
generated by white.
All in it, and then they took it and they spun that. I mean, like so. And then look, it's an embarrassment if you're a black person and you're out there and you're doing right and you want to be represented correctly, and then all of a sudden, it's just like when you had a job and you want to get a raise, Brad. If you're doing well and he's doing shit, and he's causing a bunch of trouble, they're going to promote him and they're going to keep you. They're going to tell you, Brad, we can't lose you, right? So it's stifling. Just think. I mean, all right. Okay.
Well, they promoted him. And I don't think he was.
Yeah,
doing anything.
Louis Farrakhan. He's on the media talking about how he's praising Trump because Trump is exposing the media, exposing the deep state, exposing all this stuff. And Louis Farrakhan will tell you. He said the media hates. It is against the black community in a lot of things. They like creating that division.
Well, of course. Yeah. Why would they want us? Why would they want us all to just come together and everybody live in harmony?
Remember the L.A. riots? The L.A. riots only showed you white and black.
That was it.
White and black. They didn't show you Asians and Hispanics fighting. Right. They didn't show you Asians
it's
on top of their gas station.
Yeah, because they got a lot of them over there.
They do. Yeah, they do.
Yeah. I wonder what the demographics is in L.A. Of whites to blacks to Hispanics to Asians.
Can't be a lot of whites, I wouldn't imagine anymore. I don't know. I mean, I've never been, but I can't imagine.
They got a lot of white people. So you can't. But there's a bunch of white people. Yeah.
It's got to be I guess Latin, Mexican, or whatever.
Latino,
yeah. I would imagine would be a huge portion of it. I don't know. I've never been to California, but
I have.
I hear it's a shithole.
No, it's not. No, dude, man, it is gorgeous.
Yeah, but you haven't been in.
It's like it's like Disney.
You want to pull up gorgeous? I'll pull up some pictures.
Don't do it.
Look,
he's gonna pull up
right outside Pelosi's area.
He's gonna pull up poop maps.
Yep.
No. I'm trying to clean my language up. I don't want you to think that we're here talking like a freaking dumb
3-year-old poo poo.
Yeah, it's like poopy
poo poo. No, I'm gonna show you how they've cleaned it up.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Let's see that.
No. I'm gonna show you. Don't worry. I'm about to pull it up on the big screens for y'all.
Mm-hmm.
How racist.
No, Frisco is a nice place, man.
He's about to pull up some racist.
San Jose, Frisco.
He's gonna pull up some racist. Hold up, Brad. He's gonna pull up some racist stuff right quick.
I mean, yeah.
I'll show you how they cleaned it up over there, buddy.
Damn.
Now, what is going on there?
Well, it's not Lysol. That's Jaskets.
That's your.
Damn.
Look, that's Los Angeles. That's how much they've cleaned it up.
Yeah.
Thanks for the pads. Signed Dirty Mike and the boys.
God damn, dude. Isn't that sad?
Bro, I'm just like,
God.
You know how.
Hold on.
The worst part is somebody would get in that if they could. That's the worst part.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, man. So anyway, that's why I wanted to show you how they cleaned up Cali.
Dude.
But all right, so let's talk about odds for a second.
All right.
I mean, your uncle's out there and he's in a wheelchair. Right? It's like, oh, poor Uncle Charlie. But look, Uncle Charlie, he got a woman passed out on his lap.
He looks happy.
He ain't doing as bad as people think.
He looks happy. No.
I'm just making
It's terrible, though, that they let any place, just.
This is the United States,
like
man. This is the United States. Like I said before, the people don't understand what the value of their Social Security number is.
Yeah.
They don't understand how good they have
Well, there ain't no value in that.
No.
You know what I mean?
He ain't got
it's
credit.
terrible. They don't have credit.
You
That's
have
what
credit?
He's got bad credit.
Probably so.
I mean, I'm going to get home and hug my wife, but I mean, that's love.
Dude. Yeah, I saw that come across and I'm like, what are them flies? I don't know if it's like, what are they doing?
God.
So anyway, yeah.
Thank you, Shane.
Well, I mean, he was telling me how beautiful the place was, so I figured I'd show him.
You pulled the words up.
It really is. I mean,
really did.
I know we talked about it on
the
earlier.
state itself.
I mean,
No, dude, California is gorgeous. I mean, if you go to anywhere where you had any U.S. presidents from, you know it.
Have you been? You been to Cali?
Yeah.
At all?
Oh, yeah. San Diego area, that stuff. And I mean, I can find the nice spots in New Orleans.
True.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that's, stick to those areas. I can go to Playa del Carmen, find the nice spots. But if I'm out doing this various things, I could end up in the crappy spots too. Right. So,
but like when you hit, so you have all of those mountains and stuff, and then the air is like at night. You could see forever. You know, it's where the desert meets the ocean. Is in Los Angeles area, San Diego, and there's a lot of hills. So when you're going through those hills, you go around like one corner and you look out and you see all of this sparkling valley and man,
I wouldn't mind going.
It
to
is
visit.
absolutely
I
gorgeous.
couldn't. I mean, living
but it's
there,
like Disney,
man.
You know.
Yeah,
it's like going to Rouse's. You know, you go up in the shop.
Go to Rouse's.
You know, and it's like, dude, there's meat everywhere. Then you buy what you're gonna get and you get the hell out of there.
California's
You know
like
what I mean?
Rouse's. You've heard it here.
It's a meat market.
Yeah, but I mean, it's going to be like anywhere and stuff. They're going to focus on those things that they know is going to sell airtime,
right?
It is going to trigger people, and they're going to get a reaction and stuff,
true.
you know. And it's just that's what they're going to focus on. And so it's anywhere.
So you think it's like it's amped up or pumped up more than it really?
I mean, it's any little bit of that is bad.
Yeah.
You know, so just I mean, the smallest increments of that is bad, but you know, I couldn't tell you how bad it is because I haven't been there in a while. But you know, my idea is any of it's bad.
Yeah,
it's
you know, so.
Well, and it's like when you're not there, all I see is that. You know what I mean? You may go, and that just may be one block. The rest of it may be, you know, but decent. I don't know because I haven't.
Let me ask you this: then, what makes the area nice for you? Is it the people or is it the area?
White people. I'm just I'm playing. No, because those people look white, so that was a joke.
Crazy.
What makes it? Well, law and order for one, because if that shit wasn't legal, well, of course. What else is it going to be? What do you mean?
Because I'm looking at all of the natural stuff.
Oh yeah. Well,
you know
of course, when you stand outside and look at something like Yellowstone and you're looking at just hills and
right.
Yeah, I would much rather that. But I'm saying in a city, of course, the people are going to be.
I'm not going to. Well, I wouldn't recommend anybody to go to any city.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's all the same shit.
Why vacation in a city?
I've been to Chicago. You know, I lived in New York City for a little bit. I lived in Philadelphia for a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, and then of course, you know, I frequent the New Orleans, and then of course I've been to Houston. I've been to pretty much every large city. Once you start walking city blocks, it's the same shit.
Yeah,
it is.
And it is just either it goes from bad to worse. It's some like if you go to Chicago, like Millennium Park and all of that. It's wonderful to see. It's gorgeous, you know, because he spent a lot of money, a lot of art, and he left a lot of the place open, and it has good weather.
Yeah.
You know, because you're up a lot more north than here. But for the most part, that's more like a park type setting. You know, it's more of, I'm still looking at trying to get toward more of the natural type setting than you know. But any city, all you can do is just pick. If you're from a small place, pick a block, walk around it about 4 or 5 times, and that's the city feel.
It all. Yeah. Any Democrat-run place, they're all the same.
Democrat, Republican, it's all the same.
Yeah, somewhat.
Good, if you're poor, you're poor. Yeah. And if you're rich, you're rich.
Well, there ain't too many. I'd probably get blasted for this because I don't know for sure. But there's not. I would venture to say there's a lot more poor Democratic areas than Republican-run.
There exactly is.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So it does matter. Is my point.
We were talking about that before. That the blue and red. So the blue states to the red states and what they have going. Yeah, like so what's the worst places right now? Is California, New York?
Yeah.
But
pretty much, yeah. New York's got some bad stuff going on with the immigrants having more rights than you know, because they were giving them a stipend of how much a month, and then people that are actually on welfare wasn't even getting that much. And
see that they pissed off the black voters with that.
Yeah,
they
really did in them cities. Did you see that the rally that Trump was doing in the Bronx? Yeah. It was like
and I love it when you watch, like if it was on X with some of these liberals, or you're on CNN, you know, and I like to watch a little bit of everything just to kind of get the take. And it's like really wasn't a big crowd. I mean, maybe a few thousand, but they don't understand that New York is 8.3 million people, and it's like, dude, you know what? F you.
But
dude,
for that, for the turnout for him, and it's not just like we're going to all praise Trump, but just to have a Republican go in there and have that kind of pulling power because the people are sick of what's going on there. It's not that they're all these huge fans of Trump. They're tired of the bullshit that they're living around.
And I mean, they were interviewing a lot of these people, and you listen to them. That man, I've been Democrat for 30 years, and it's
well, you know what started is that was paid. People,
well, I'm sure it was.
Trump
I'm
paid
sorry
to get those people in there. I'm like,
edit this out. But yeah, it was.
Now, granted, I hear that on the other side too.
Absolutely,
you know,
we hear on both sides. I mean, like my thing is too. So, like, you have two people running, really two contenders in this presidential race and stuff. Okay, and neither one of them should honestly be there. You know, I will vote for Trump. I don't care for Trump. You know, his rhetoric, everything. I'm like, just do your job. But the difference between Trump and Biden is if I'm sick of listening to Trump, I can turn him off. Okay. When I go to the gas pump, I can't turn off Biden.
It's true.
When I go grocery shopping, God damn it, I can't turn off Biden in the grocery store. It's his actions and, you know, this Build Back Better stuff and all this money is sucked in.
Bidenomics
it's all
and
fruition to everywhere and stuff. So it makes it, I can't turn him off. You know, I turn off Trump, I go spend $1, 29 in gas.
Right. I'm just wondering if that's what, I mean, I would think a lot of that rhetoric is what got Trump to where he's at politically. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of people that
New York
love
businessman.
They love the attitude. They, you know, I think he does a little time. It's overboard sometimes, but at the same time, I think that's what got him to where he's at, you know, to where people are like, this dude just don't give a fuck. Everything they've done to him and that they've thrown at him, nothing is slowing him down.
Yeah, but the one thing Trump proved, and it wasn't even his doing, was that we have something else going on.
What you mean?
Because Trump getting elected was a miracle.
Yeah.
There was no way that dude was supposed to be elected.
They were not prepared for that.
Hillary knew it was
However,
hers.
he did get elected. That's the start.
Yeah.
All right. But it's kind of like you stumble upon like the person who found the biggest diamond in the world or something like that. You know, they do it on accident. You know, the guy who found the biggest gold nugget, right? I mean, it wasn't like, you know, you intentionally did it, but he was president. Okay.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, we've seen that he was doing the best job that anybody has ever done being president. Okay. He did better than everybody, except for probably Daddy Bush. I don't know how he didn't run 2 terms, but whatever. And then he got booted out. Easily.
Yeah.
Very efficiently. How the hell did that happen?
By the
higher
deep
ups.
state. Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah, and
by
it
the
is
citizens.
not. That wasn't a Republican Democrat crap right there. That was something else going on entirely.
Well, that's when it's not an election; it's a selection.
Yeah,
it's a selection.
Going on. But I mean, he turned some things against himself. You know, I think in the past history and stuff, mail-in ballots have always been good for Republican voters. You know, the problem is, you know, I don't agree with them, mail-in ballots, and most of your other countries, developed countries, don't either.
Sure.
But he put stuff out there that changed the dynamic just alone in mail-in ballots. So that decreased tremendously coming into as a Republican, you know, an election that year. So it's you got to stop shooting yourself in the foot.
But let me ask you this: what percentage of votes are mail-in ballots?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't either.
We got to find that out.
I don't either one.
Because of course, so I'm gonna say it's like probably 95% is regular votes, and then like 5% is mail-in ballots. But you had a 5% mail-in part. Right. And then upon that, it'd be half of that. It'd be 2.5%. So you say, figure 2.5% pushed him out, which is ridiculous.
Yeah,
I mean, a lot of other developed countries, the mail-in ballots are your military personnel and somebody who's out of the country, not somebody who's living in the area on the block and can get there by some form of means.
But you hear what he said? Other countries. You know how many Americans say other countries? Hardly none.
Right.
I think it was hacking the voting machines that kind of fucked everything up.
No, it wasn't that you could do whatever you want, but okay.
I don't know. I find it weird when
this is what I feel that it does.
We're going to halt the counting for tonight, and we're going to pick up tomorrow morning.
They said 24% in 2016, or 33 million people voted by mail.
Wow.
20 what?
Yeah,
that much?
That's what they said.
Wow.
That shit is so flawed. How
many did it in 2020?
2020.
89%.
Mail-in. It's
89%.
I would venture to say it. Well,
89.
It might be more on the Democratic side. You know.
Yeah, the Democratic vote on the mail-ins went up to 99.2%.
Yeah, absolutely.
My uncle just died. I got to get his vote in.
Sure.
I'm waiting on them to be able to do this shit over their phone through an app, and then it's over with.
Your voting app?
Yes,
yeah, it's
I'm
done.
waiting on that. Because for one,
license.
you would get so many more young people that don't give 2 shits about going to the vote, but they would be like, oh, yeah, okay, well, you know, Cardi B said vote for Biden, so there it is.
Well, that's kind of how it goes, though. And
well,
that's pretty much that's a dangerous thing, too, because you're going to ask a celebrity. Oh, we're not going to get off into this, are we? I hope not.
What you mean?
Well, you ask a celebrity, you know, like you ask Cardi B, she's like, yeah, I vote for Biden. You know, that shit. And then next thing you know, old Sleepy Joe's back. I gotta give thanks to Cardi B. She was over here. She helped give me my insurance and tuck me in the bed.
Well, they jump on them celebrities hard because they want them college age kids and them younger, new voters.
I mean, they have that influence.
Yeah, they want them bad.
Yeah. Taylor Swift's another one.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm tired of hearing about that.
I just think we're lucky. It takes too much effort for them young kids because I didn't give 2 shits when I was younger. I wasn't taking my time. Right. You know, if I was busy on election day, it was like I didn't even think. I was like, oh well, shit, it passed.
And you can bet all this student loan forgiveness. That's what it's all about.
Of course,
man. You know, it's all about harvesting. Trying to harvest votes, you know,
but
at our expense, of course, you know.
But they have a point about that student debt crap. Like we all knew that's a ruse.
Well,
they make a tradition for you to go to LSU. They make a tradition to do all of this stuff, and then they instill into all of these kids, you got to go out and get a college education. You got to go out and get so you can get a good job working for somebody else instead of telling them
instead of pushing trades.
When next time you buy a bag of beans, plant a couple and see what happens. Understand how life works. Yeah. You know, that cow that's out there that you know because y'all got a goat because you thought it was cute, and now you're shoveling up the goat poop, and then you're trying to get rid of it somewhere. That's fertilizer. Those they know nothing about it.
Yeah.
Well, you know, too, if people would look at what they're looking to go for, if it's poultry science or whatever it might be, and it's like, well, this is going to cost me $100,000 to get this degree. at a job that's going to pay $35,000. It's like
and a kid doesn't care.
The math doesn't math.
Yeah, but they don't
doesn't
care
math, man.
Yeah, but they don't. If you push that at a child, they don't care. They don't care at all. It's like, look, I'll honestly give you this loan whether you pay it back or not.
I agree with you.
And they go, all right, give it here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're just that irresponsible.
Yeah. So, but does that mean that it's somebody else's, job to pay it back that didn't?
No, we need to find out who it was. It's our job to find out who it was that pushed these loans.
Yeah.
What financial institutions have these loans out with people? Try to find out what's going on and fix it.
Well, it's government loans, ain't it?
Yeah, it's all government loans.
Some
Government,
are. I mean,
but they still held to a bank. The government
does
doesn't have a bank.
Student loans, private entities do student loans, depending on what interest rate you get. I mean, you have to go through your FAFSA.
But it still hits a bank.
Yeah.
The government doesn't have a bank.
I see what you're saying.
Well, they have everything, but they don't have a bank. Is what I'm saying. It's like it's going to go to Chase. I'll give you
Whitney
it'll
or
go
whatever it might be.
Yeah, go to Wells Fargo.
Yeah.
And it goes to Chase. It goes to Citibank.
Yeah.
It is what I'm trying to say. So how do we fix that?
I don't know, man. I've always preached to my kids that unless you're totally committed for one, or if you're going to use a profession that really needs that higher learning like the college, it's just a waste of time and money. If you just want to go get a trade, which is probably way more important than these bullshit liberal arts degrees that they all like to go get. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's the problem. They
at least get some type of business
something
degree.
that,
So when you're doing that trade, you can run your own business. I mean, there's some schools like my son went to school. He went to Chalmette High.
Right.
Okay. Chalmette High has a dual enrollment program. In that program, he was able to obtain his associate's degree in aerospace manufacturing.
Okay.
So when he graduated high school, he graduated with his high school diploma and an associate's degree.
That's good. Yeah.
He did his first year this year at Mississippi State, and he'll be a senior next year at Mississippi State. So leaving high school, he'd already knocked out 2 years of college and is up there getting his mechanical engineering degree in production management.
Right.
Yeah,
I wonder what bank institution he's pissing off by doing that.
Well, for one, he's committed, so he's going to finish, and he's going into a line of work where he's going to be able to find employment.
Right.
You know what I
Well,
mean?
he's
a lot of them,
interning with us.
Well, there you go. See, a lot of them get out of college and they don't even use the degree that they got. So it's total, but they were duped into getting that because they're taught you have to go do this. You have to go to college, or you're a failure.
You know why?
Gotta go to college.
Because it's companies that have hundreds of millions of dollars invested, and they have to have a return on their investment.
Yeah.
So what they do is they're like, all right, go out, brainwash, go out, get this other thing instilled, go out, have these fraternities, have these sororities, have these, where he's a alumni. A bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
A bunch of bullshit in order to get you to sign your name on that line. Next thing you know, student debt, right?
Well, now you're getting athletes that are getting paid.
Sure.
Going into college. They're getting paid, getting sponsors and deals.
Which I think they should have. Some people are like against that.
No, I think they should too.
I think
if the coach is getting paid, then if the coach, I'll draw it back. If the coach is getting paid an exorbitant, what is that word? Did I say that right?
I think
I'm trying to use my big words tonight.
We know what you meant. So.
If the coach is getting paid a salary,
just say a lot.
Just say a fuck ton.
Man,
fuck ton.
That coach getting paid a lot more than like high school.
Yeah.
Then man,
some of them do. Some of them are making 5, 6, 7 million or whatever.
Your boy was making $9 million.
Yeah.
LSU coach.
That's crazy.
Eight something, close to 9, huh?
Yeah,
that's good for him.
I don't really
but all of the kids is playing for free.
Yeah.
I would have found some kind of way to.
They weren't all playing for free. They were just doing that shit under the table. So a lot of them, when they got caught, they were getting in trouble for that shit.
Yeah, right.
Can we show the inside of somebody's closet? Is that invasion of privacy?
No, fuck no.
Can we legally do that?
Fuck them. All they can do is get
I
mad.
have the video of the Tulane coach's wife's closet. And
wait. So
I was doing stone. We were doing stonework. And
why were you in this wife's
dude? I'm talking floor to ceiling Louis bags, fucking just ridiculous amounts of clothes and just
coach's salary, huh?
Yeah,
that's awesome. That's what I mean. So then they were bitching when these kids started making a little money.
A coach's salary for education. How screwed up do we have it? And we won't admit it either.
Any education?
Because you got people who walk up here right now and put a knife in my chest, looking at me in my eyes as I take my last breath because I'm talking about LSU. Like straight up.
He's probably one of
them. No, I'm not one of them. That's my alma mater.
He just sheathed his knife back. He was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get caught."
No. No fan favorites.
But what I'm saying, I'm not Should LSU exist? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right? Should the whole football program exist? Absolutely. But let's just admit what's going on. I mean, it's not about education. It's about sportsmanship.
Quit hating. Quit hating.
Yeah. In those big colleges, it's all about the athletics.
Yeah,
it brings in so much money.
Yeah, it's about money.
Yeah, but you got one like like a Tulane or whatever, where the sports isn't really, they're more academic based.
I don't know.
But you got like Alabama and LSU and all them big boys. It's all sports driven.
Yeah,
but whatever.
See it all the time.
Gives a lot of kids opportunities, man.
It does give people something to do, and it does give us variety. I mean, no, I'm serious. You go out on a Friday night, dude. You got your jacked up 4-wheel drive and shit. You got you're flying the LSU flag and going down, and you got the girls from Ole Miss over here, and the guys from LSU, and then girl sneaks off over there, and you got something to talk about.
Everything's a picture
then they
painted
fight the
when
dudes
he's
and all.
talking.
Hell yeah, because I see movies in my head.
I could tell.
I just read about some LSU big fight that they had from the not sororities, that's the women, but what's the dudes?
The fraternities?
Fraternities.
They all got big fraternity brawl they had.
They all got probation.
One of them got suspended from LSU till 2025 or some shit.
Was it like an athlete?
They were fighting at Tigerland. It was just a big group. And they were all like,
and it was all LSU people.
Yeah.
I thought I
sorority girls.
I saw it today.
No,
it was the fraternity. It was the men's
The fraternity
side,
was fighting who? Was fighting
other fraternities at LSU.
So the LSU was fighting LSU?
Yeah.
Oh, come
at
on,
Tigerland,
man.
they was all drunk at the bar and just got in a big ass brawl.
They can't have no Civil War at LSU.
It was
Civil War reenactment.
I thought I read the headline, but I don't read really past the headlines. But I do.
Yeah, the last thing I remember and stuff is them going in a Palestinian protest, going in and SECs, and did not work out well for them.
No,
like you don't bring that shit to an SEC.
Shit still going on around the country. I haven't heard anything about it lately. I guess it kind of petered out.
Died down.
Yeah.
I saw a flag over the house. Israeli flag flying over my house. Yeah.
Last time I saw something was the Italian foreign minister or something climb out the window of the building, climb onto the balcony, and hang a Palestinian flag, over the edge.
Awesome.
Said he wasn't. Free Palestine.
Yeah.
Like, we'll get rid of Hamas.
That's so crazy, man. That's so crazy.
It is crazy.
Well, I was speaking of, like, I guess just military stuff. With you being in it, the change that you see with all that wokeness shit, do you think that's over pumped to just by the media? Or do you think it's changed since you were in it? Because, you'll see, like, they'll put these people that the only reason they're there is diversity hires, you can tell. You know what I mean? You think it's running rampant like they want you to?
I think it's running rampant. I think you take everybody who's 06 and above and fire them.
Yeah.
And then start fresh. I mean, there's just because it's diversity doesn't mean it's quality.
Right.
Sure. And that's what they need to get back to. It's quality. Take the race, take the name or whatever off the application, everything that comes in, and look at the qualities of the person. I've served with great people of color, and I've served with some turds who are white.
Yeah.
Of course. So
Yeah,
it's just you take the quality of person, and that's what you put ahead of you. I mean, the last thing I looked at the other day on social media, they had some. Could have been a boatswain's mate or somebody on a flight deck. He runs off, he puts lip gloss on him, and then he starts dancing. I can only imagine that there is some chief sitting up in the pilot house, little bridge, deck, looking down at that, just hoping an F-22 takes off, and snatches his ass up.
But why did the higher ups allow
women?
It's the women,
because the higher ups allow because it comes from higher than them.
It's women.
They have
it's
to.
a woman.
They have no choice.
Listen. It's a woman somewhere.
I don't know.
If you have that many dudes against that shit, but it's still going on, it's a woman that's pushing that narrative. 100%.
It may be, but it's just that entire side that pushes that narrative. I mean, man or woman,
dude. I guarantee if I got,
because how many women are pulling the strings in the military?
A lot,
higher ups.
a hell of a lot.
I mean, there's a few
because they stick around and they career out of it, and all of a sudden they don't feel comfortable with this and comfortable with that, and then of course back in the day, dudes are doing dude.
I mean,
shit.
Besides that, Rachel Levine. I mean, how many women are? I don't see any on. Like,
I swear that's the Mitch McConnell in drag, dude.
Yeah.
If you look at her, dude.
Well, and that's one we were talking about, that Levine dude that, dresses up like a fucking girl, up there with the military and all. And I'm thinking, is it just that the media pushes that in our face so much, or is it really happening that much in the military.
We had trans, when growing up in the 80s and 90s and stuff.
Absolutely.
And you knew it existed and whatnot.
Right.
It wasn't so prevalent. It wasn't pushed on people and
Right.
everything. They existed for the most part. People recognized it and just left it alone.
Sure.
I mean, you had your people, your evil actors that would assault or maim people like that because they're uneducated and they can't get past themselves.
Right.
So, but we had that. Now you've gotten to where it's shoved down your throat for acceptance and stuff. It's like we accepted it before.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, we all got along with it. Yeah,
it's like your toilet. So we all know take a crap, but we don't need to be there to watch it.
Yeah, we accept it. Just don't make me have to accept it or ram it down my throat.
But here's the other thing too: life ain't fair.
Well,
life is not fair. Look, NBA. I talked about this before, right? I mean, you take a lacrosse team and the average height of a lacrosse team. Take an average height of a soccer team, and look at the average height of a person playing in the NBA. It's different. You're gonna have some variance in there, a lot, straight up. So if you trans and you're trying to get into the military, probably not the best place for you to go.
No, yeah,
straight up. But I've talked about this before. If you white and you're trying to go into the middle of a bunch of black people, it's probably not the best thing to do.
Yeah. Well,
if you're black and you're trying to run all up in a bunch of Republicans, it's probably not the right thing to do.
We'll let them go where they want.
You didn't even hear it. I snuck that in. You heard it?
No, I was just thinking
about them, though, man. We'll accept them with open arms, dude. That's
I
all
was
we
thinking
do.
what you said about it's probably not the best place to go, but it's like there's nothing wrong with them going in it. It's the way that it's like this is the thing to be, you know what I mean? Like this is what you want to be now.
That's what I was
protecting us.
That's what I was missed in my trying to speak on it. All right, you're gonna go there, but you're gonna go and you're gonna try to change their narrative to fit your comfort zone, or which is not what that's about. It's so they go up and they can push their own narrative.
Yeah,
I see what you're doing, and I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna change all of that, right? Like what you have going on at your house. I think you ought to cut your grass shorter. So I'm going to go over there and befriend you, and I'm going to jump on your lawnmower, and I'm going to cut all of your shit up. You know what I mean? Because that's the way I feel it should be.
Yeah.
Bro, leave it alone.
Like Girl Scouts going to the Boy Scouts.
Right.
Just make the Girl Scouts better.
Yeah, I think they just...
I didn't think they even had Boy Scouts with the way the Girl Scouts
I think
was.
they just changed that whole...
Yeah, it's all changed and stuff. Yeah. But the thing is, too, like when you talk about the trans community and stuff, if you look up definitions based on that, it comes down to you don't have a grasp of reality.
Right.
You're into it or whatever the definition is, but you don't have a grasp on reality. And that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
But there's treatment for stuff like that, and you can talk to people and stuff, but it was one time in the military, you couldn't get in with flat feet.
Right. It's true.
It's true.
We had higher standards.
Even height limits and
and it should be. And the military is supposed to discriminate.
Of course, because you want the best of the best.
I'm glad
I look at
said
foreign countries and their ads for the military, and they are marching in sync.
Yeah.
And there's women with women who are holding rifles and doing their thing, and there are men, jumping and climbing up walls.
Right.
And we have Beth talking about her two moms.
That's true.
Right.
It is. It's true.
It's true.
But you know why? I think the United States is trying to flex too, because man, don't worry about who's out there because they got that button.
Yeah,
they could just all of a sudden
like we
the little doors open up, a little drum.
Like it don't matter who we got.
Yep,
we're still number
one bullet, one little 30-06 bullet, and then the little drone just goes back, gets a little docking spot, and they continue to march on with the little dresses on.
Well,
yeah, but I lose confidence in that when our drone takes out some guy supplying water. After the Palestine attack. The guy gets hit by one of our drones.
That doesn't happen.
Putting his truck, filling it up with water for aid, and we take him out.
Yeah,
that never happens. The government never makes a mistake. What you
never?
Huh?
Oops.
Yeah, I think it's a flex. I think that
is that what it is?
Yeah, we just.
So you think we're just playing possum?
Like I don't. Yeah, like okay, you pick with us if you want to. Boop, hit that little button.
I don't know. I don't know what drives it. I almost thought, like I said, we were just kind of, I don't know. When you look at social media, it's pushed, but I've only seen 4 or 5 videos, of shit like that going on in the military. But in your mind, it's like, oh shit, that shit's just it's going on. It's in every branch of the military now.
Let's get somebody that's fresh out of the military and talk to him.
Yeah.
I mean, you got somebody that's him in Paris somewhere, just walking around, who now came home from the military.
Because everybody I know is active, and they won't come on here and tell you how they
perfect one for you.
Really?
I know a gay Marine.
Yeah.
He'd probably come on. He's conservative.
Really?
Yeah.
But he makes a good point though. What does your sexuality have to do with the way that you dress and act?
Nothing.
They shouldn't.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
Or your political affiliation.
Yeah, I mean, you got.
Well, they started that because the
at
Republicans have always been, like they're
Yeah.
anti-gay, hardcore conservatives.
I mean, it didn't. I'm not going to ask what your sexual preference is as opposed to what you're doing. I don't need to know.
Yeah, I don't care.
You know what I mean,
Right.
dude? If you got a dick, I don't want nothing about what it's doing. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Look, I want my coffee. You know what I'm saying? You probably got a boyfriend. You work at Starbucks. That's fine. Give him my coffee. I don't care. I don't need to read your big flag and all of this.
That's
and all
the
that.
argument with the whole when that LGBTQ community starts the shit about we want our rights and everybody's like what rights?
But they're putting
what are we
themselves in that
fighting
position.
for?
Look, okay,
Like,
so
I don't give a fuck. I don't care. So who's this one holding you back?
the only way that you really know if somebody's gay or not is either if you're sitting there peeking in their window, or you trying to dig into their private life, or they wear it on their external.
That's what
right,
and that's what's happening now.
You can tell. So, truth be told, my oldest son's gay.
Right.
Okay. He came out. He was very secretive. He went to his mom first about that. His mom called me, and we're divorced well in this time. She calls me up having a conversation. I could tell something's wrong.
Yeah.
I'm like, you need to talk to your son. I'm like, you're the other parent. Why don't you just tell me what's going on?
Sure.
And she's like, he came out that he's gay. And I'm like, I knew that.
Yeah.
I'm like,
wow.
I knew that.
I thought something was.
Yeah, I thought something was.
Something wrong with his heart.
Dad knows when his son's got a little sugar in his tank.
Yeah.
Right. So
but
I went to him, and it's like, hey, you got anything you need to talk about? Anything? And he was hesitant. He's like, no, I don't want. Well, so fast forward like 2 months later,
right.
I finally sat down with him. I'm like, hey, so I hear you're gay. And he's like, yeah. I was like, okay. So anything you need me to talk about with you, or you want to have a conversation, because this is new territory for your dad.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to tell you about this and that, but we're willing to go ahead and get you with professionals to talk with, not to ungay you,
Yeah, that what it was? Yeah,
but basically to talk with, so it prepares you for life and things that you might encounter growing up. And this kid is hard as nails.
Right.
He's got a good head on his shoulders. He's ready for what the world can throw at him.
Yeah,
Honestly.
As a father, especially down south, was it like a?
How is it perceived?
Yeah, like did you feel like any certain way? I mean,
and like he told me to. He said, he's like, Dad, I look at you as like the definition of like what a man is.
Alpha
like,
male,
how a male perceives himself and everything and stuff. You're the protector. You're the breadwinner for the most part. You're aggressive. You're peaceful but capable of violence and things like that. So I was more worried about coming to you because I thought you'd be disappointed in me, thought you'd be making fun of me. I'm like, look, I mean, you're my kid. I'm always going to make fun of you.
Yeah.
You just give me new material now,
but you'll never not love it.
There's nothing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing. My love didn't diminish from my child. And then I told his grandfather, and my dad grew up during certain switches in the era of civil rights and things like that.
Absolutely.
And then when I told him, he's like, it's fine. It's my grandson.
It is what it is.
And it's been now we don't hang the flags and during Pride Week and things like that.
That's what I'm talking about.
Because we want him, and I've explained to him, you want to be known by your actions, not by your sexuality.
Yeah.
Stuff,
Exactly right.
Thank God.
Yeah.
But like as a dad, though, was there any amount of disappointment? Because I hear a lot. I know
whatsoever.
people that say, "I'll disown my son if he ever."
Yeah, but this is why. This is why, because he raised his son since birth. He knew.
Yeah. But it's still, to some people, they still like, well, he better.
I don't understand.
He better never tell me that. You know what I mean? So I was just curious if there was any of that. And
plus I played the odds. I mean, I have 4 boys. One of them gay. I still got 3. There wasn't anything like he said.
Play roulette next. It's like Fuji. Bet on red. I know.
We raised him to be a certain way, but we didn't raise them for sexual preference and stuff. We didn't focus on that. You know, he wasn't part of the new generation where it's, you know, the flags are in the school, the books are here, this and that's going on. It wasn't pushed on him. So he came out on his own, and like that's something he decide. How you get to that point or whatever, I don't know. I've not asked him to make me understand. I just accept him for who he is, and there's not zero.
And that's how
sense of disappointment.
My nephew, I guess he's in his late 20s now, but I knew him when he was young. You could just tell, and it wasn't a big deal. Like it was the same thing. Like when he came out, it was like, okay,
yeah.
I mean, what are you talking about?
And you can't. Just to add, I'm not trying to pry, but like, did you know? I mean, as he was growing up, that you could tell. Well, he's just a little different.
So, I got good dance moves.
Right.
He's got better ones than me.
So you're the black.
You can tell as a father if you were involved in your children's lives.
Absolutely.
You can tell it's coming. And as a father, you should not hold a level of disappointment for your child, because if you've raised your child correctly to contribute to society, be an honest member of society. Who cares?
No, I agree.
That is the right way to look at it. But like I said, there's a lot of men that feel like they didn't do their job because they're
missing out.
Yeah, but you can't make.
But I get it
because there's a lot of people that believe that you can make somebody gay. You can't make nobody gay. They're born gay.
Yeah,
that's who they are.
I believe that too. And honestly, I didn't think that way until I watched my nephew grow up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because I helped raise him. You know, my sister was young when she had him, so he was always a part of our household when I was coming up. And you could just tell from a young age. You know what I mean? And nobody made him. I mean, nobody, talked him into it, but you could just tell he was different.
That ignorance can go though. People would be like, "Oh yeah, you can't do this, you can't do that." And of course, now, I mean, if you have a little boy that's kind of on the fence, you know what I mean? You keep on trying to sway because there's different levels.
And some parents do that now, though.
Yeah,
pushing their kids to.
We did the normal what you do with a 13, 14, 15-year-old boy. You take him to Hooters for his birthdays. You take him to Twin Peaks for his birthdays.
Exactly.
You do some level as a father that you expose them, in your own sense to the opposite sex and, that are attractive women and whatnot.
By what you,
and how, I was raised. I mean, look, I mean, Showtime After Dark when you're growing up.
Yes, indeed.
Skinamax, many a lovely nights at that. But I mean, he was
exposed. Hot patch for my shoulder.
He was exposed to that, but he still, he came out and stuff. And it's like, it's nothing we as parents did wrong. No. We didn't do anything
some people
wrong.
Feel like
we raised our kid. We did everything right.
And then also down here on the Bible Belt, down here, a lot of religious parents, they don't want to accept that either. So that's why I was really curious about because you had mentioned to me a week or so ago that you did have a gay son, and I was wanting to ask you that just as a man, because when I was young, I was probably ignorant. Had he come out and told me that back in the day, I probably would have felt like, well, I didn't do my job as a man then, because like I said, I didn't understand it.
But you should have. You're not. But you should have fought him, because
so you can't
just antagonizing you.
So you can tell me. You don't have to be.
So it's time.
But like,
you want to have that talk right here
with his brothers. I listened to these four boys. From my first marriage, these boys crack on each other, gay wad, all this stuff, and like his brother came. I'm like, did you tell your younger brothers? He's like, no. And so told his younger brothers. And one of his brothers, he's like, still a gay wad.
Wow. I love it.
He said, I'm not going to stop calling you that.
Right. Exactly.
And so, but I mean, my older son, he's taken on the role of really good of an adult. Yeah. He's 22 now. So he's super responsible. He's in marketing. And, and the job he's been at now for so long, they recognize his contributions to the company, and they're looking to propel him more. I mean, he'll be a senior in college as well next year, and he's doing awesome.
So he's not one of these clowns out there fucking, acting like some kind of activist, like he has
he's
no
not
rights
an activist. He has his flamboyancy.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm talking about the ones that are just
but he's not throwing paint on works of art and, doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
No,
well, that's interesting, honestly, because like I said, being down here and coming up in the South, it's always been you're not a man, if you raised a son that was gay, you did something wrong, you know what I mean?
I mean, we would walk in the halls as kids and have you bumped hands with each other.
You fag.
Exactly.
That's true. That's true. So that's why.
But I mean, the level of acceptance now, It's so accepted. And some people are like, is it accepted or is it tolerated? You know, and that goes hand in hand and stuff with that. But at this level now, you're not really what you get back to say, what are you actually fighting for?
Right.
You know, at this point.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Like what rights don't you have?
Right. What rights don't
country,
you have?
You know?
Well, that goes into that whole agenda thing.
Yeah. Right.
Right. To where
keeps us at odds for one.
Because a gay person, a lot of gay people try to point out the ones that are out with I'm going to speak and say, okay, straight people hate us, and so we're going to go back and forth. And it's polarized shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just keep on with the polarization, and I should be able to fly my flag, and this, that. It's like you're creating a bunch of polarization that isn't there.
Well, everybody likes to be a victim, for one, because it gives them a purpose.
Exactly what he said, the victim mentality.
Yeah, some people need a purpose in life, so they create issues.
But you know every 19-year-old goes through that.
Yeah.
It's like a quote, you know, it's a quote. It's like, you're always going to deal with conflicts in your life. You're always going to have that stuff. You can either, you know, cry in the rain or cry in the storm or dance in the rain.
Right.
You know?
Well, they got them trained, a lot of them, to cry about the shit nowadays, man. And that's the problem.
But they have cry corners.
Well, exactly. That's my point. They encourage it now.
But that ain't. I mean? But they don't have to do anything with the sexuality.
Oh no. I just meant in general, young people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. No, the sexuality thing. That's just a lot of that's pushed by the media, and it becomes, like I said, a social contagion where every kid wants to be part of it now. Right. You know, and a lot of them, they say they grow out of that. You know, not that you grow out of being gay, but a lot of them aren't really gay. It's just a thing that that's cool. Look, I want to be part of that right now. You know,
I'm gonna use a prison term. It's called the stake game. Were you in a prison before you were on the street?
No, I just went to the road.
Okay.
Were you ever in prison as a convict?
No.
We're just clearing that up.
Didn't ask him that. He's funny. So in prison, there's a certain person who orders food for all the prisoners to eat. Okay, and then that person will write down so many steaks, and they reward prisoners with steaks.
Wait,
but
what prison is this?
All of them. Damn.
All of them.
I want to go. I'm hungry.
I don't know.
You know, listen. Their reward. It's called a reward.
I know what you're saying. They get a steak for behaving.
Yeah. Like maybe. So they're prisoners who want that steak. So all the kitchen staff are prisoners. It's prisoners working for prisoners. There's very few staff, and everybody in there. It's a prison kind of runs by the prison. So the person who orders the food, they order, like let's say they order. You know, you have 2,000 prisoners, and they order like 20 steaks per month. Okay, so those 20 steaks exist, and Brad is in there, but he's a shot caller. A shot caller is the head man. When we talked to Rob, we talked about the shot caller. Yep. Okay, so the shot caller wants that steak. Okay, but that steak is going to Justin. So how do we get that steak? So that shot caller, Brad, tells me, Bougie, go over there, and you and Kenny and Shane start fighting. Start a fight. So when you start a fight and we start fighting,
it's a distraction.
All attention runs to that, and then that steak goes zoop.
Yeah. So basically, you're saying they cause a distraction. And
so they're playing a state game with us. Yeah. They're pushing all of the gay. Oh, we offended this gay person, and we did this and we did that. Well, there's a whole bunch of shit where that behind the scenes stuff is just like
of
going.
Course. Yeah. That's what they say about everything that like kicks off in the country. Is
I think it's going on now.
You pay attention to what they're doing behind that, as far as the government, because they're distracted.
Yeah, like
distraction. And a lot of it may be conspiracy shit, but it is said a lot. You know,
when you ask them about what was going on with, and we'll talk about that probably. What's going on with Puff Daddy? He's like, why do you think they publicize this Puff Daddy stuff so much? Yeah. And I said, well,
I was wondering why they were going after him so hard all of a sudden.
But he's taking up all the news, all the space, because the Kardashians are regrouping. They're doing something else.
The Kardashians.
You know all of your distractions. The Kardashians is one. Puff Daddy is another one. You had OJ, that was another one. You had the Bill Cosby stuff was another one.
Are you going like real conspiracy? Like they know they're being used as distractions? Or you're saying the media is...
Okay. I mean, look at Harvey Weinstein. He's out.
Yeah. He's out. Yeah, absolutely.
I kind of think that was real news. That Weinstein shit was bad. I mean, you know... Straight up.
Yeah.
No, I'm
and I do believe when they get finished with you, and these high profile people, when they get finished with you, you're done, dude. Whatever it takes. If it was Harvey Weinstein, he evidently pissed somebody off or didn't do what he was told to do.
Well, and that's
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I was talking about with the Puff Daddy shit going on right now. Is
yeah,
that all of
evidently-
a sudden, because none of this shit's new that he's been doing.
Wait. So
exactly.
you're talking about deep inside of what's going on with these high profile
Absolutely,
things.
man. Absolutely.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got
Evidently, he pissed somebody off or didn't do what he was told and
Didn't
it's
pay
like,
his
dude,
dues.
I'm done
Apparently
with you.
something.
Didn't pay the
We're
club
done with
dues.
it. Yeah, exactly.
Or,
We're done
or
with
is
it.
that just thinking too much into it and it just happened? You know,
No.
It's like this video
no.
that came out.
Yeah.
That shit was 8 or 9 years old. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? And all of a sudden, everything's coming down
Yeah.
on this man now. And it's like, who did he piss off? Or
Absolutely.
like
Yeah,
you said,
but-
they're done with him.
But
now.
let's
They're
look
done with
at
it,
let's
dude.
look at the issues that align with all the rest of the stuff. So during the OJ time, what else is going on inside of that? What else that didn't coincide with it?
Well, I'm trying to
right?
think because I was young when
You
that
have
shit was
overlap,
going on,
92,
like-
93.
Yeah, but I
I'm
don't
talking
know if
about
I was,
the stories that what would have had OJ not been in the news.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I
Right.
didn't pay. The only reason I knew about OJ
Well, you
'cause
have
it
Rodney King.
So they pump up this fake
was that
side.
about
yeah,
the same?
yeah,
You had
time?
Rodney King,
The LA
yeah.
riots going
Yeah,
on.
that was
LA.
another tragedy that happened within the political theater, not political, the media theater. Excuse me. Yeah, there's all kinds of crap. You know, like so there could be somebody got bombed, or somebody stole a bunch of money, or
I see
a
what you're
bunch of
saying.
money
Yeah,
came
so
up
they need
missing, or you know,
But they would
this
call
person
you,
was getting indicted
people
that
call
day.
You crazy for saying that. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
so-
They would-
so like
Kenny,
if-
you want to? We could take a break anytime you want. You got a pee there. You got a fridge there with some drinks.
Grab
in it,
something,
whatever.
drink.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. This shit
Let's
ain't
pause.
fucking
We'll
this.
we'll take a commercial
We ain't
break.
got to pause. We'll sit and let people stare at us, and we'll wait.
All right.
Yeah, what's wrong?
Can we sing?
Whatever you want to. Yes, you opened us
else
up
want anything
last
while I'm
time
here?
singing. Nah, we good, man.
me
Get the
see.
strippers. We need some good. Anybody got some lighthearted news, man?
Lighthearted.
Yeah, we got deep in. I do have some. Was it Justified video? I do.
Oh,
I want to
shit.
pull up and
We can talk about the NFA,
what's that?
the National Firearms Act. and
What did they do
fuck
now?
the ATF. The Protect Our Hearing Act is coming back around.
Protect our hearing.
Yeah.
The fuck does that mean?
They're trying to take suppressors off the NFA, which would be amazing. Honestly, I think the NFA should just go the fuck away.
Oh, you
period.
mean like where you can actually have them?
Yeah, you
what
can
is
have
the
'em, but
NFA? That's what I
it's
mean. You're
the
talking.
National Firearms Act. Basically, we've talked about it, but you can get a suppressor, but you have to pay $200 for a tax stamp
Right.
to the ATF. And the Protect Our Hearing Act is coming back around to take suppressors off of the NFA,
So what? So that you can have them or you can't.
so that you can have them without having to pay, without it being a restricted item. Period.
You think
just
that's
like
going to
owning a
go
firearm.
anywhere? Or do you think it's just a pipe dream by gun enthusiasts? Because apparently you want one.
I would hope. I would hope that it's going to go somewhere. Like I said, I think even farther than suppressors. I think the NFA should just be completely gone.
I don't know
because its
I
main
believe in.
thing is automatic weapons is what it restricts.
I got you.
Which I mean, you
Which
go
you
to
can
Chicago
still-
and there's switches on Glocks all fucking
Yeah,
day.
there's a lot of
but I
automatic
can't
weapons in
fucking
the
have
city.
one. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
But can't you apply for some sort of
you can
license
get
to get
so if you're an FFL, you can have anything newer than 68 fully automatic weapons.
okay?
Once you lose your FFL, you have to sell them to another FFL. With or without one, if you apply for a tax stamp, you can have fully automatic ARs, AKs, whatever, prior to 68.
Yeah.
When
Prior to what? You talking about the quantity or the year?
the
year.
year 68.
Okay.
When they added fully automatic weapons to the
Which I know
NFA.
you're thinking, who needs that shit? You know.
Somebody who's trying to kill somebody.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, if you're
I don't-
trying to kill somebody, you're not going to shoot full auto anyway.
Yeah, you are.
It's
You-
really just for fun.
But
You're
it'd be
going to miss every fucking bullet. If you shoot 30 bullets full auto at somebody, you're going to miss every one. I promise. you're
Look,
not going to hit shit.
if
You're
if
going to
somebody
hit his grandma and his mom in the house behind him. You're not going to hit him.
Spraying and
It-
praying.
It's
Did
just
you
not going to
see
happen.
that?
Yeah,
So,
right.
Did you see that
Exactly.
video? That asshole that went in that grocery store and he went into the bathroom and he was he was recording himself doing it over Facebook Live and all. And he was saying he was going to just show people he could do it. So he was going to find a victim to shoot. And he's got his gun and shit, and he's cocking it in the bathroom, and he goes into the grocery store, and he's on his phone, and he's like, oh, no, not that one, not that one. Oh, wait, I see one. I found one. And he let off like 6 rounds at this lady. Missed her, because apparently he was shooting like the idiot you talking about with the automatic shit. But, I mean, they arrested his ass, but I'm thinking, what a fucking
That's
clown.
exactly what happens when you shoot full auto. You just miss everything because it's so hard to control.
I've seen plenty of movies,
just
dude.
for fun.
John Wick.
Really,
yes.
But it's like the law is there to stop people from gaining access to illegal full auto weapons, but they have them anyway. So all you're doing is stopping people like myself and probably everybody in this room that I don't want to break the law and be a felon.
Yeah, right.
So I'm not going to have an illegal full auto weapon.
How many more rounds can you shoot with a fully automatic as opposed to pulling the trigger each time?
A lot.
How much more?
Depends on how good you are.
It depends on the gun, really.
Lee Harvey Oswald, he was pretty quick, apparently.
I mean, you can go through a magazine quicker with a fully automatic than you can a semi, but your accuracy is not going to
You're not going to hit shit, right?
Unless you're a 12-year-old on Call of Duty, like the little bastard that whipped my ass earlier.
That's what I'm saying. It's really just for fun. Like if you're
it's really just for fun. Stop.
No, if you're trying to hit shit and you're like really out here, like I'm going to kill motherfuckers, you're going to shoot semi-auto and you're going to put rounds on target.
We need to pass a law to stop dudes from jacking off to guns, and all of this shit will go away.
What you mean?
Because he got all these dudes over there just like, oh, my God, suppressor. John Wick. Come on, man.
The problem is, when you start passing those laws, it affects people that aren't over there jacking off to them. They just happen to want to have a right.
It doesn't solve the problem.
No,
the problem, we are old enough to see the change.
Oh, yeah.
See the lack of empathy. See the exploitation of violence and all this stuff. And people will say, well, there's other countries that have video games and violent movies and all that stuff. Yeah, I get that. But we are also not the most violent country, out there and stuff. Latin America is actually more violent than us, but it's a tool.
Yeah.
It's a tool at the end of the day.
Well, I think it's like you said, it's these kids, they become numb to that shit from just the TV that we watch, or the video game. I'm not blaming video games because I hate that shit because he grew up playing that Grand Theft Auto while he was young, and he hasn't so far. He hadn't run around killing people and shooting people. But
you don't know.
And I still play Call of Duty, and I'm not
didn't tell you.
But it affects
it's a maturity level
different.
Too. Sure.
You know what I mean? Like some kid may play that, and then they just become numb to that violence. So it just doesn't hit the same. Like you said, when we came up, I think Columbine was the first thing that ever really kicked off like that.
We were adults when Columbine.
Yeah, exactly. But
so
that was like
the only thing I remember when we were young enough was at the Catholic school. As the sheriff at the time's child got kidnapped and stuff in there, and the woman went in there. And it was Canulets.
Okay,
and the woman went in there and shot and injured the teacher and kidnapped Pat Canulet's son briefly.
I kind of remember that, man.
Yeah, that's the only thing I remember. Everything growing up was attributed to gang violence.
Yeah.
Right? No one I would have moved out of San Antonio, Paris,
which is where
I'd never heard from. What's that, gang?
Just gang violence, like the NFA started from the mob. From like St. Valentine's Massacre and shit. Is where
but for
they
the most
really
part,
started thinking about the
it
NFA.
was focused.
Yes.
Right.
You had the occasional bystander and stuff, but I mean, for the most part, that violence was focused on an individual.
Well, isn't that really? I mean, even in the inner cities now, I would assume it's usually focused too, ain't it?
Right.
I mean, opposed to just random people. It's gang violence or drug related, because you notice when that shit goes down in New Orleans, like on Bourbon Street, when there's an innocent person killed, they don't play, man. They find the son of a bitch that did it. But all them, in the projects and in the hood where that shit's happening, they
right. And like even like you and I were talking about earlier today with instead of in New Orleans you get robbed and they roll out, they have to kill the victim.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's innocent people that are getting robbed that NOPD probably isn't going to do shit anyway if you report it, but they don't think like that. So they're like, well, I'm going to get rid of the witness.
You carjack me in New Orleans, I become a used car salesman at that point.
Oh,
you're going to love the way this handles.
You're going to love it,
Let me show you this. It's got a little knock in the engine, but it's okay. Keep it below 70 and stuff. Here's my cell.
Yeah. I'm not dying over no car.
Exactly.
Man. It ain't happening. But some of them, they
pay insurance.
Some of them, they don't give you a chance. Though,
right.
You know what I mean? Right. That's the problem. But,
without a doubt, dude.
But anyway, let's do. Was it justified? We're gonna see if old Kenny thinks it's justified. How he feels.
Sounds like Italian. So it's an Italian leather chair.
No, he's trying to give
It's
her
like, bro,
here,
you can have mine.
take
He's
mine.
trying to downgrade her. No, she wants to level.
What that is somebody who's a sore loser of musical chairs.
That's what. Look. She. Boom. Now what? Now how should him handle that, Kenny? Because we do these a lot with these women putting their hands on these
Is
men.
it justified or is it not justified?
It's a chair.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You
But
know?
as far as him, because you see she hit him.
Right.
And
she
we've
hit him.
always said it. I mean, it would kind of. It would take a little bit more than that probably for me to turn around.
Yeah. I mean,
but some people are like, "Hey, man, she shouldn't have done." You know.
Yeah, she shouldn't have.
Yeah.
And that's you're going to swing on a man, prepared to fight like a man.
That's kind
Right.
of.
You know, and that's unfortunate. But I mean,
Now, what would you have done? That's more of the
If
question.
I was the male?
in that situation,
Yeah.
I mean,
for one,
me would have been able to block it.
right.
You know? So he doesn't look like he works out much. So he's part of Meal Team 6.
Right.
You know, but no,
I
mean,
wouldn't have gotten that
don't
far
put
in the
yourself in that.
argument.
That's how I'd handle it. You don't put yourself in that situation.
Right.
Exactly right.
Yeah, I'd have gave up the chair
like, if
for
you
one.
want the
But
fucking chair,
but
take
if it
you
did
know?
go that far and she swings at you like that, I mean, it's like what did
Right.
she hurt?
I mean, look, I
you
married
know?
a woman from the West Bank. I
Oh,
expect her
shit.
to
Yeah.
run over there and handle my lightweight.
I'm surprised you're alive still.
So that was it. So that's what should have happened.
What's
The
that?
dude should have told his old lady,
To come
bust her
Handle this.
ass,
Yeah.
handle my problem.
Well, this is what happens when you marry somebody from the West Bank.
Oh, women will get you beat.
This is it. Hold on.
Why you standing there for the second hit?
Get off of me. He's not even touching her. So what do you do in that situation? Probably what he did, huh? Just walk off. Get off of me.
She misses this one. Lands it.
Nah. Can
Yeah,
we bring the oven
So what do you
video
do with
back
that?
up?
What do you do with
Yeah.
that, Justin?
But yeah, that's a bastard that is used to being abused.
You could tell.
And he allows
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I probably would have took the hit.
He should have like bobbed or something.
No, I'd probably
I'm
took
with-
the hit, so I could tell later on, be like, hey, you know, I should have bust your ass,
Yeah,
before.
you
but
owe
I'm
me.
gonna hit
I'm
you
cool
again,
like
Poppy.
You
and now,
yeah.
and you know what I mean? Because the girl, that thing
I know.
kind
I mean,
of
she
good
calls
looking
me
there.
Poppy. I'll probably let her hit me too.
Well, I'm with you though.
No,
to let him do it
more.
a
I'm saying
second
she had more
time.
of that Jasmine, Princess Jasmine thing going on than that.
All right, let's wrap it up, Kenny. I thank you for coming, brother.
Thank
We're
you
gonna
for
have to
coming.
do it again,
Appreciate it.
man.
Yeah, so I brought
We're
booze
gonna have to
and
do,
jerseys.
I know, and
yeah.
the jerseys. I'm gonna find somewhere. Honestly, I want to hang it up.
Hell
That's
yeah.
an awesome jersey.
That's a
We're
nice
just representing the
Send you
state.
some invites and that.
Yeah.
Check out some games.
Do that. That's awesome, brother.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
awesome,
That's
man.
good stuff. I know when we played in Prague, my wife had to get up at 4:00 in the morning because of the time difference.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's my true fan.
I love it. I love it.
She'll
Hell
sit there and watch
Yeah.
them beat on the glass when we got people shoved into the boards. You know,
Yeah.
they love it.
Well, it's good. Good talking.
Good
to you,
spectator
brother.
sport. Got a lot of turnout in the stands.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we get a good bit, especially when we went overseas for that, or we have tournaments in Austin and Dallas.
Yeah.
I mean, it draws a good crowd. Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
That's
Had to go check it out.
Yeah. Put that on camera, man.
I'm looking at it. Let's see. New Orleans Mambo. There it is. That is awesome, dude. I like it.
That's gotta be
Represents that
hung up
Mardi
somewhere.
Gras.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
on
it's going somewhere
Instagram
in
and
here.
stuff,
Yeah,
and
that's
follow
awesome.
the team, do
Well,
stuff.
thank you, Kenny. I
My
appreciate it.
opinions, of course, are mine and mine only.
Right.
They're not the express consent of the team.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. But anyway, well, good talking to you, brother. I'm glad we got to
Appreciate it.
catch up. We're
Thank
gonna
you
do
for
it again
coming,
for
man.
sure.
Thank you for having me in,
Always
man.
good. It's,
Yeah. Thank you for coming.
Shane, Brad, Bougie, Justin, Kenny. We're out of here.
Peace.
Peace. Happy Memorial Day to this country and the
Yes,
troops.
sir.
And, yeah.
Well, it's about time. We went the whole episode and nobody even said that.